a new episode of Life Without Stress, and also for the podcast about A Course in Miracles. I'm sitting here for a second time with my dear friend Elbert. We talk to each other. Hello. We talk to each other in Dutch for these interviews, and now you're here in the Netherlands to talk to me in what do you call it? English, American, Canadian?
English. Let's do English.
Yeah. I wanted to start off this interview by singing a little song for you.
Oh, yes.
Is that okay for you?
Can I sing with you?
Yeah, please. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Oh.
When I sing this song, I get goosebumps.
I can imagine.
Can we start off at that point? That why does this song have this impact on me? I know it was sung by Wayne Dyer, a spiritual teacher. Oh, yeah. Life is but a dream. Why sing that to children? Why does it calm them? What is it with this sentence? Life is but a dream.
I don't know. Maybe it's the melody too.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
does it ring a bell with you? Life is but a dream. That sentence.
Yeah, what we call life is like on the way over here, I got reminded of the idea of time, that you don't decide that it is 2:00, but you use 2:00. So, but time is invented by human beings. Like before us there was no time in that agreement setting. So the life that we think about life, it is just a dream, just like time. It's just a dream. It is not real because it's only an agreement between us. And then we talked about it last time too, about what is then that collective agreement. How does that work? Well, do I still have something to say myself? I remember you asking that, like, do I have self
original thoughts? Or
well, let me ask you then a question, like, can you have right now an original thought?
Well, I would love to, but most of the things I'm going to ask you and talk about is what I read somewhere, heard somewhere.
So then, like when we talked about it last week about the future, like the future lies in the past. Very simply, because whatever I can imagine right now comes forth out of the past. Because like I will think, even if I try to think about something that has not happened yet, I still use a compilation of ideas from the past.
Yeah.
So tomorrow we're going to fly. Every individual can fly.
Yeah.
But it is still based on what I now think or in the past thought that flying was.
Yeah.
It's not original.
Mm.
It's like a compilation, or it's like a constant. It's a very creative way of putting separate things together.
Yeah.
But that's basically what time is a decision to see things separately.
Yeah.
Because that's the only distance between it. Time is this form, and especially with form, but also with other ideas. This form is right there, right now. And then later on, that form has moved to that side.
Mm.
But why wasn't it there all along? And then how we think about time is a movement in one direction. I don't know, maybe I go all over the place, but
no, I'm following you.
But the whole point is that in reality, it has been always not as a separate. I wanted to say space, but also not as a separate idea. That this is here, because this is here needs this is there, or something else is there.
Duality.
Yeah, it really needs that
to
determine. And then yeah, that's funny how we talk about the same thing every time. Because last time too, we said like God does not know about time, does not know about choice, and does not judge. But God does not judge because he's above all of that and he's like way cooler and better.
Mm-hmm.
But because there's no comparison. He knows. And it's only something that you don't see as your own, that you see as something separate and over there.
Mm.
But it has always been. So the dream, life is but a dream. The way that I look at life is not what life is. It's literally things separate and then on some kind of spiritual path, then trying to mend them together. But it's not real.
Mm.
It's not real because time does not exist.
Yeah. And what is real then, dear Elbert?
Well, what is real, and here's the thing, like I was told, you don't meet God on Tuesday. You meet God now.
Mm.
And it is always now. When you meet God, it's not like, oh, thank God he showed up at 2:00 on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, God, you're so great. No, when you're in the God experience, you're in what we call the now.
Yeah.
And that now, and even in the spiritual community, if I can say that, is that the idea of now has been so stamped on that it loses its true meaning, and that or the significance of it, because like the now is really now. Like it's like when you do sports and you run after that ball with soccer, like you don't think about something else. You're really focused on that.
Yeah.
And you're
In
really in the moment. And that's Jesus expressed this in the Course in Miracles. I think it's chapter 17 where he says like the holy instant is where all sensations of the body disappears. And everybody has those moments. And that's actually a direct communion with God in the abstract sense of what God is.
Yeah. Sporters, they call it the zone. They come into the zone, they call it.
Yeah. And then we still try to make it about what they try to accomplish in the sport itself. But like at that moment, everything exists and nothing exists. Like everything exists. Yeah, I don't know how to explain that.
But where am I then in that that moment?
Again, where are you?
Yeah.
Where are you?
Yeah. Am I? Some spiritual teachers say we love to do those kind of things like sports and sex and drinking and eating because we disappear in that moment. There's no judgment. There's no judger. There's only that what is.
Yeah, but it's still, you see, and that's what I've been told over and over is like that is still on the level of observation of it. And that's why it's so powerful to say like meeting God in a particular time or place. Like you don't have sex in a particular time of place. Like you are very well aware how to build that up and how to court someone or how to move.
Make love.
And then at some point you can say, okay, I lose myself. But when you have a revelation, when you have a vision, you don't, you can say you prepare your mind for it, but
it strikes you.
Yeah, wherever you are. That's why it's a Course in Miracles, because it's not guided by what I can comprehend, what I know where I move in or about.
Yeah.
I don't know if I say that correctly, but
still this book is a mind training book, right?
Yeah.
So we have to unlearn things or make room for the possibility that we get struck by this, or
no, I got reminded too, and it's funny because thank you so much, because I'm like those words the teaching is really great until you really start to practice it,
implement it,
and practice it, and then I can see that, like, this is not a like we would always say, like, this is a path of enlightenment, a personal, individual path of enlightenment, and that is how it looks like on this side of the bridge. But it is not true. Like basically what I train my mind in is to undo the awareness of what is, to undo that what blocks the awareness of what is.
Yeah.
And it's always, like, we had yesterday, the day before, we had a lesson that, God is with me. And God is everywhere. And the only problem that is that I'm not aware of it, but He's there. And He's not like an entity that you can point to. And it's not an experience that the ego or the self has. It is a true being where everything else disappears.
Yeah. But still, God does not know about this world, right?
Yeah, because it's a world of separation where things come and go, and you can learn stuff here and you can unlearn stuff. God has no idea about it because God knows, and you know too. Like that moment that you called the zone for a sporter is kind of the same thing. Like you're right there, and you just know.
Yeah.
You don't wonder if you have to put one foot in front of the other or how to kick that ball or nothing. Like it goes like you just know. You know.
Yeah. And is that the holy instance? Because it's whole. It's holy, whole.
Yeah. Yeah, but still, you're like you, and I include myself in that too, are still coming from a place of that it was not, and now we're going to a place that is.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's not that.
No.
And when you are in that so-called zone, you cannot think about that way. So like you keep on being objective and standing back and just observing it, but it is truly standing still and listening and be guided. Like he says, like miracles appear naturally when you try to do something. They can be misguided.
Mm.
When you try to perform a miracle, it can be misguided, and it says very specifically can, because but there might be a chance that you do exactly what was the plan, but it goes so much faster if you just let it work through you, and then you don't have to worry about anything.
Mm. When I was 16, I had a bicycle accident, and I saw myself flying through the air, and it was kind of like a spiritual, whatever you want to call it, holy instance, whatever. You were hanging off a cliff, with your flip flops on.
Yeah.
How came that about, and how was that then relating to this? Was that moment for you that I can do nothing but just be?
Yeah. Yeah, I got up in the morning and I was in the mountains, and I was like, let me just go for a little walk.
A little hike, yeah.
No, not a hike, just a little,
okay.
It was like, yeah, I might have eaten something, but I was like, just neighborhood. I arrived in the dark, so I didn't know where I was. And then, while I walk on this path that was very nice, bushes and great, there's this guy with a backpack, and he looks pretty professional hiker, and we start to talk, and I just walk with him, and he continues to talk, and I'm in my t-shirt and shorts and flip-flops, and we get higher and higher and higher, and then we reach that point where trees don't grow anymore because you're so high up. And then he says, like, you didn't bring anything. I said, no. So, are you thirsty? I'm like, well, we've been walking for, I don't know, 3-4 hours. I don't know. So he goes to a little stream and he puts his bottle in there and then he gives it to me. And while we're standing there, like it's like a bluff, like a little area that's flat within the higher rocky mountains, and he says to me, like, and it goes very steep up. And he says, like, I want to go to the next plateau, and I will go here. And I was like, okay, but is this not shorter? He said, well, you can do whatever you want.
Of course.
I think he had a little bit of enough of me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I go there and I start to climb, and it goes further, like it goes steeper and steeper, and suddenly I'm just literally climbing. And it was like, I don't know, like maybe 300 feet, like 100 meters, something like that. And I get to a point where, like, it at first it's easy to grab, and then I discover, like, my flip-flop is stuck. And one thing I knew for sure is that, like, on bare feet, I would not have enough grip. And yeah, it was a really difficult moment. I think I yelled for the guy.
Yeah.
But he was, he
was gone.
Yeah, he was gone, or he didn't want to know. I have no clue. And yeah, and I was hanging there, and I was like, wow. Is this it? Like, at first I tried to, I tried to reach, but I couldn't reach far enough because I could barely hold on.
Yeah.
And then, there was a moment of like, wow. Did I say everything that I wanted to say? Did I do everything that I wanted to do? It's probably like 10 years ago now, something like that. And I really went inwards, and I started to speak to God, like anybody who is in crisis mode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I said, like, well, if this is it, if you think this was it, then I'm okay with it. Then okay with it. That's okay.
Mm.
And if not, if there's still like a purpose for me, then please help, because I cannot
know what to do.
I cannot get out of this situation.
Yeah. And an angel landed on your shoulder, Elbert.
I don't know, but at some point, out of nowhere, was nothing that I did, that flip-flop
came loose.
And then
on your feet, foot, it didn't fall down.
No, it didn't fall down, because it was like there was a piece missing, and it was like very sharp. It was like, I don't know, like 2, and then flip-flop was just right in there. And then I could, and then so it was loose, but then I really had to, I was handling on one hand and one foot, and there was nothing for my other hand to grab on. And then I really had to like kind of jump to get for my other hand to reach a point. And I did.
You came to the top.
And I got to the top, yeah.
And then is there like, thank you God, or what happens then?
I think I was only concerned about the other guy.
Oh, yeah. Where he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you find him?
Not up there.
Nee.
Not up there. Like it took maybe like a half an hour, and I thought like, well, the safest way to come back is the way that he said that he would take. But it was like, it was fast. Yeah, like it was far. Mm-hmm. Like it was maybe half a mile.
Yeah.
Like maybe a kilometer or so, like around. Like it was very far where he would take and then come to the, And I didn't even know if it really ended up there. I could just see that it goes steep and then it would like curve around. So I don't know. And then I think I was running around and I couldn't find him. And then I looked back from the place where we came from and I saw him there. So then I just tried to catch up with him as soon as I could, because I could see that he was just leaving.
Yeah. And was this a life-changing moment for you?
It was life-changing, probably not in the moment itself so much. But later on, I really looked back on it, and I really realized like I was okay with it. And that really showed me that I don't want to try something here. It needs to be, and I try enough still, but when push comes to shove,
that's a great one. Yeah,
I don't want to be in charge. And let me, show me, like guide me by letting the energy flow in a certain way that I know, okay, this is the way to go. And that's also like when I came to Holland here, the way that I was received, because as you know, like when you're in the broadcast business like this, then it's in general just a one-way direction, and you have no clue
where it goes, what it reaches. Yeah.
What happens with people when they listen to you?
So there were people at the airport welcoming you with banners and stuff. Elbert, there you are.
No. I had a few, and it only takes like a few.
Yeah.
But I only had a few very dear encounters where they expressed to me that, well, what we called the zone. If I show up in the morning and I'm in the zone, that where I put my vehicle available for, it's not correct English, but what I use this vehicle for, or what I make it available for, it does transform people. And I had no idea about that. Or maybe I did at some point, but then, who knows?
Yeah.
People come and go all the time. Listeners come and go all the time.
Yeah. You do this every day of the week, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
I have done that.
Yeah. Wherever you are.
Wherever I am,
Yeah. Or if you are in Holland or America or wherever you are.
Yeah.
You put
I did it from everywhere.
Yeah. And lately I heard you talk about that you were sad that maybe this should stop. Is that what I correctly heard? No, I've not been told to stop, because I would stop immediately. To the contrary, actually, when I don't want to, and it's getting later and later and later than in the day. Yeah,
and that's not true. You have to just do it. Just do it. And it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and okay, good morning.
Yeah.
But no, what I've been told is that I need to make myself available for the English language area.
Okay, that's what we're doing right now. Yeah. So maybe the classes are going to be in English with Dutch subtitles or something, or
maybe. But like that's also how I started this whole thing. Like before I started the Dutch classes every day, I did them all in English. Yeah. I didn't know that. No, and at that time, I was really like, no, it's really in the moment. We didn't save them.
Yeah.
Well, they were all live. Like,
okay.
We did it 5 times a week. It was not every day, but 5 times. Like I worked New Testament from cover to cover, and in every episode we went through a whole chapter of the 4 Gospels.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Bible.
The Bible, and then in connection with A Course in Miracles, and we did the whole tour through Israel with the Course in Miracles and Jesus, and but that was 10 years ago.
Yeah. One of the guys I love to follow, he doesn't live anymore, or whatever you want to call it, but this form is gone. Kenneth Wapnick, he once told me in one of these talks, if you look in the mirror and you think that that's you, what you see, you're insane.
Yeah.
And this sentence struck me also because it's so contrary of what everybody believes and thinks. And can we go into that a little bit? Because when I always had that weird feeling when I looked in the mirror, also as a child, that I thought, am I that? Is that who I am?
Yeah.
How is that for you?
Yeah. Like I just called it a vehicle, and that's also how I like to approach it. Like you're capable to all kinds of stuff with, you and I, with our voice, but also with your hands or with your presence or however you want to call it. And that's not really you. And still it is something that you said, I will take responsibility for. Out of time, when we were sitting in the waiting room for okay, we have some seats left for Earth. Who wants to go? And you and I, let's do it. Yeah. And, at that moment, we decided to learn through separation. And what can you learn from separation? Well, in the end, it became like an unlearning of separation. That even though we think we're separate, even though we think we have a body or we have an ego, the wholeness has not changed. We're still part of that one unifying energy field. Can I say that? Yeah, I don't know. And it's also not really for me to determine that. It's more to be available to guide someone back to where they came from. To that remembering of that point.
The forgotten song, they call it in one of those documentaries online.
Yeah, the forgotten song. That's part of what is it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
A Course in Miracles celebration of 50 years or so for the book.
Yeah.
So is this just an instrument then? Like this pen I'm holding?
Yeah.
Now, I don't think I'm this pen, but still I use it to write. So should we see this body then as a pen or a pencil or a hammer or whatever you kind of instrument?
In a small form, I would say so. That's how I experience it.
Yeah.
I think I have self-determination, but the only thing that I determine is to not be whole. Is that a true determination? I don't know. If you dream that you can do something that, okay, yeah, you dream. We all know it's not true, but yeah, sure, you can dream that.
Yeah.
It's the thing is that we talk about it as if there is like a God or something out there that I'm not part of, or that I can go to. But that's not true. And that's the last thing, like when I was told, you looked in the mirror, I was told, look in the mirror. That's the last thing you want to give up. The last thing you want to give up is your own Adam story. Because Adam, the first thing he does in the Bible, Genesis, first thing he does, of all the things that he could do, and God looks like, let's look what he's going to do. The first thing he does is he gives everything a name.
Yeah.
He makes everything separate.
Yeah.
So what is knowledge? Because we look at the tree of knowledge, the tree of knowledge and the tree of good and bad. Maybe they're the same tree.
And then apple.
Yeah, from which tree did it come? From knowledge or from good and bad? But what one thing says is knowledge is all-encompassing, and good and bad is what is really separating. So maybe it's a choice that is not really real, and that's maybe also when you really read the Bible, it is not clear if there are two trees or one tree.
Yeah.
If it's the tree of knowledge, if it's the tree of good and bad. And what we really it's in that sense, it's all metaphor.
Yeah.
Because we think that we have here a choice, that we can do two things. That we can do the good thing or the bad thing, that we can be nice or friendly, and how do you look? Oh, it looks like you lost some weight. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
We're friendly.
It sounds good.
But but what is that really? Like the real communication there is not about your appearance, but the acknowledgement, hey, I see you.
Yeah. And everything is okay? Maybe that assuring message?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I get from listening to your daily courses. It's almost like every day you tell me everything is okay. Whatever happens, everything is okay.
Well, it's okay in the sense that
nothing really happened.
That I brought it into existence for me to learn through. And when I don't want it anymore, it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And that's also why I can let that class go very easily. The podcast I can get, because when it's finished, it's finished.
Yeah. No regrets.
No regrets, but also I'm not looking for a result. Are you looking for a result with forgiveness? Are you looking for a result when you do something? And that's a very confronting message or very confronting question that you can ask yourself, like, why am I doing this? Am I doing this because, the neighbors look at me and I hope my ex-girlfriend will see it and then, or, any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Or am I doing it because, like, I know I need to do it?
Yeah. But I always say the happiness is in the doing, not in the result. So it's but it's really, giving away what has been given to you. Yeah. Yeah, because we are like a vessel in which these things suddenly appear or are manifested, or
not suddenly. Like it is a manifesto how we started here with the beginning of separation where what was became two things.
Yeah.
And then it became 4, and then 16, and then 64, or however that works.
Yeah.
But it is not. Nobody asked the question: did it actually really happen? So we try to get here to a space where we know what God is or what we are, but maybe the question is not real. And maybe that's why it is okay. Because it doesn't matter what happens, you will come to who you are. Because you cannot not.
Yeah.
You are who you are.
Yeah. Let me take my notes, because some of the things you say in your classes, I make notes, And of course, it's always the daily lesson in which you get your inspiration to talk about. Let me see where I got this little thing you said about. It was about happiness. I'm paraphrasing.
Yes, please. I do the same.
Yeah. You told me that when I'm unhappy, I choose to be unhappy. Did I hear you say? I have it here. It's in Dutch, but I'm going to translate. Happiness is the natural state of the thinking mind of the Son of God. Why do I feel unhappy? Because I chose for that. Because I chose to feel unhappy.
Yeah.
I choose to feel unhappy. I never ever heard someone say that to me. It looks like the circumstances make me unhappy.
Yeah.
It's the other way around.
Well, like I said, we came here to learn, but to learn that whatever I do, I will always be myself. And in this worldly level, we would say, people come to that realization. They go on a holiday and they discover that everything is still the same. They exchange their partner for another, and then they discover that it's still the same.
Yeah.
So that means that something must be still the same. It must be still the same approach. So when we look at happiness is chosen, I choose how I respond to you, and I choose if I think that it is right or wrong. And when I think it's wrong, that will be then the starting point of guilt, because I thought I had a choice and I should have done it differently. And then I don't like that, so I'm going to say, well, it is how the way that you looked at me, So now the guilt is with you.
Yeah.
That made me make that wrong choice. But in any given moment, I choose happiness or guilt. And someone lately said, well, that is a very moral, empty place to be. A moral empty in the sense that there's no compassion in there. Because what does it matter if you do something that the world considers bad or something that the world considers good? Because, you say that it does not matter and you can just choose to be happy about hitting someone or stealing from someone. But my master always said, like, in my dictionary does not contain causing pain. That cannot be the reason why I'm here. Because I know that when I steal something from you or if I hit you, I cause pain. And then you can say, well, you can try to think that happy, which could be the interpretation of what I said. But I would like to change it into, I'm happy that I see now that I did something that caused you pain. And I don't want to cause pain. So the happiness is like more about the outcome, that I choose the outcome to be different. I watched TV yesterday, and then one of the
politicians.
No, like they're a round table, and they have all those discussions going on, and late night show, and then everybody can give their opinion about anything, and then they said something. No, I forgot what I said. Anyway.
They said something that caused pain with you. No,
they, let me see. The thing is that when you look at the situation, you cannot be in the wrong place at the wrong time. So it must be there for me to learn my wholeness and completeness. That's why I'm there. That's why I've been asked to show up. And I can choose to see it that way, or I can say, but I'm a victim of the circumstances. Yeah. And when I'm a victim of the circumstances, then my happiness lies somewhere else, with someone else, with you or with whoever. And that's a lot of power that I give you. But let's keep it between you and me. If you can do something that makes me not happy, then I give you a lot of power over me.
I could throw a glass of water in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, for example.
Yeah.
I'm not planning it, but I could.
Yeah.
And then
it already happened by the thought of it.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. But you started smiling. Do you think you could become angry, or you think whatever?
Oh, I will become angry.
Yeah. But,
absolutely.
But I once experienced that at a place where I was playing records and I didn't play the record that the guy in front of me wanted, and he threw a glass of beer in my face. I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't feel anything at that moment. Maybe I went into a freeze mode or something, but I was more of a surprise, and I thought, wait, guy, what are you doing right now?
Yeah.
So I got another T-shirt and played the record. So it didn't trigger anything with me.
No. Well, and you say triggered, but maybe it is really that you don't give the power over your mental state to someone else.
Yeah, that. And because of all the, especially this book, I don't go into victim and what's the other one? The dader, the what do you call it? Yeah. You do something to me or something. I'm just, maybe it's a spiritual bypass, but I always think, well, okay, this is the scene where I'm in right now.
Yeah.
There's a glass thrower and there's someone who receives the beer in his face.
Yeah.
And I just look at it like, okay, when this would happen in a movie, I would start laughing about it. Why make it personal?
Yeah, but that's a good point. Like the idea of a movie and the whole thing that you started with, the riddle about life is just a dream.
Yeah.
Like previous, and I'm talking about quite a few years ago, we would just go to the square in town and we would see someone being
hang. Yeah.
or like
Yeah. And we thought that was normal.
Yeah.
That was the norm. Yeah.
And now we let people enact that stuff on TV.
Yeah.
But it is still a glorification of pain.
Yeah.
And what I discovered lately is that when I turn the TV on, there are quite often times that for not consciously knowing why, I just change channels. But when I look at it, I can see like, there is some kind of glorification going on with pain and suffering.
Yeah.
That I don't want anymore because I don't want to support it.
Yeah.
And that's maybe also the choice that you have to become angry or to not let that power get away from you.
And fuel that situation with fear, guilt, pain anymore.
Yeah, and it's a funny thing. It's a funny thing that we go to the cinema or watch TV to see the enactment of causing each other pain and suffering.
Yeah.
And then for the greater good, because they got away with the gold or the money or the
good. The bad guy was killed. The good guy lives.
Yeah.
But still, people like Kenneth Wapnick tell me that the ego invented this world to play the game of pain, suffering, and guilt.
Yeah, I'm not going to correct Ken Wapnick, but I like to say instead of like the ego, as if like I have an alter ego and I created this world. I created this world,
of pain, suffering, and guilt.
Yeah.
But why did I do it?
Yeah, tell me.
Well, to play the game of pain, suffering, and guilt. Then, yeah.
And then when you
in separation.
And when you then rediscover that you're still part of the whole of everything, still part of everything, then you don't want to support that anymore.
Yeah.
So you don't go into suffering and pain, and it doesn't mean that you don't have that you deny that it is there, which I was told that I was denying it, but it's not really denying. It is really like, but I know it does not define me. It's not what makes me. It's not what flows through me. I see the suffering, and for whatever reason, we're still in this place because it still holds something. That's why it happened, because it could not happen if that was not the truth. But I don't want to give it any more thought than this. Like I want to,
Yeah.
So also with the idea of depression, I can choose to change that thought. Whatever makes me depressed, like someone throws something in my face. Why would be that a bad thing? I lose my car, I lose my house, I lose my relationship. Why would that be a bad thing?
Yeah, a great teacher, a great writer once said, Shakespeare, nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so.
Yeah.
So we put on the labels good, bad.
I do that, yes.
Yeah. I do that, yeah.
I do that, yeah.
Yeah. And what
that's okay.
But what does it give me? Does it give me a false sense of control or power, or what do I have to say about it?
I don't know. I can only talk about myself in that sense. And it gives me the feeling that I know how to deal with all of this, and that I can choose a purpose here, that I can choose what is happening here, and in which direction this goes. But it is always a futile goal. It's always something that comes and goes, and nothing really stays with me except myself. So maybe it's time to just look there. What is always consistent, and that is my power over my thinking. I think I have control over when you throw a glass of beer in my face or not. But what I really have control over is what I think.
How I react.
That's a second, but what I think.
First, what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Because my reaction it comes forth out of my thinking.
Yeah, but it goes so quickly that you think something about it, or you stay neutral all the time. Then.
No. God is not neutral. I'm not neutral, and it's not meant to be neutral because it's meant to learn. And for that, things need to change all the time. Learning is change. So when you try to keep things the same, like in the past everything was better, then you actually say, I don't want to learn. Let's try to drive on the other side of the road. Let's see how that goes. Because I want to learn. I mean, you can come up with all kinds of stupid ideas because that's basically what it is. But like, if you try to keep things the same as they were, then I will not get out of this place of separation.
No. Okay, so look for the adventure.
Yeah, and then when you come to the point, and that's maybe why I say everything is okay. Everything is an adventure. Everything is that learning. Every situation we can jump into it and say, yes, let this be everything. And that's also what I hear Course in Miracles say is like, God is in everything. Like, not how I look at it, because I look at it as something separate, but God is in everything because I utilize all power that is into the things that I look at and that I move and that I talk about and that I use God's energy in that idea of separation, but it's not true.
Yeah. So could we call ourselves happy learners? You talk about learning.
We could, but most of the time we're not.
No, but I'm part of a WhatsApp group called Happy Learners.
Yeah.
Of course, that's something from one of the teachers who talk about the Course in Miracles.
Yeah.
Should I be a happy student, happy learner?
Well, a happy learner is a learner that is willing, I think it's from chapter 4, it's willing to say, I'm rather happy than right.
Yeah.
I got correct in that sentence or in that idea is like, it's not so much that I want to be right. I want to tell you that you're wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. We love to do that. Yeah.
That I get really off on. Like, this is really something that really gets me out of bed, to tell other people that they're wrong. And that keeps me in that separation. And then I'm wondering, why do I not feel whole and complete?
Yeah.
Well, because I tell you, you're doing it wrong. Yeah. And by that, I manifest the separation between us.
Yeah. Yeah. You set a boundary. You're wrong.
Boundary,
I'm right.
But I literally say that what you are is something different than I am because you're wrong. And I was right.
I'm right, yeah. I have a little text here I would love you to reflect on if you're okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we could take a sip of your tea.
Yeah.
Jesus taught inner trust as a way of living, not just a belief to hold. When he said, do not worry about your life, Matthew 6:25, he was naming how constant anxiety keeps the mind on high alert and the nervous system locked in tension. Trust signals safety to the body, quiets looping thoughts, and allows clarity and peace to return. What he offered wasn't passivity, but freedom from the internal strain that keeps people living in fear and exhaustion. I made a little screenshot of this because it struck me. Does it struck you too when you hear this, or? Or is it old cookie?
No, look. I think Jesus says it very clearly in the Course in Miracles, in the Manual for Teachers, that talks. The biggest part of the Manual Teachers goes over trust. Is about trust. It's like 5 or 6 pages of the whole Manual for Teachers, which only is 96 pages long. So, like, contrary to popular belief, judging my podcasts, I do not really want to generalize or analyze behavior or human, because that's what I thought I could hear you say is like the human being is this or that, and does then this because of that. even though there's a collective part in it, for me, it's always about the individual, me personally. So what motivates me is like, yes, Jesus says the inner trust is what all the trust is. And it's not trust in the belief that you can do something with your vehicle, with your body, but a trust that there's a bigger picture here that I don't see. And that's why the so-called final judgment, Jesus talks about it too in the Manual for Teachers. The final judgment is, will everybody be judged? Is one of the questions in the Manual for Teachers. And the answer is, yeah, everybody will be judged. And everybody will be judged in its completeness. Basically, Genesis again, like when God was creating the world, at the end of the day, every day, he said, like,
He looked at it and said
it's complete, it's full, it's whole, it's
done.
Yeah, and so that trust, when you hang on the cliff, or when you have a bicycle accident or any of that stuff, it doesn't really matter. Like there needs to be a trust, and you don't have to test that trust. But in situations like that, challenging situations, what you consider challenging yourself, you can see where you are. And Jesus says at the beginning of the workbook, he says, like, if you don't know where you are, look around you. Look around you, and that's where you are. And it's not a judgment against it. It's more like that's where you are. Or I thought I knew you. I thought I would trust people that I never met before. I thought I would. But then at that moment is where you really, if you want to, be confronted with how it really is for you.
Yeah.
And then you can say, okay, do I still want this? Is this joy and happiness? Or is it supporting separation and the idea that I'm a victim here?
Yeah. Still, it looks like we have to make an offer to reach something in this world.
Yeah, it might look like all kinds of things, but it cannot be true.
No. But still, you invested time to get here with the car.
Yeah.
And then after a while, you leave again.
Yeah.
That's an investment in what we call time or energy.
Yeah.
There's no money involved here. So it's not about you earning something with this. You get a little envelope.
I thought I would get a big envelope.
I have a goodie bag for you with some little nice things for in the plane. But yeah, I'm still, here in the world, we tend to look at what's in it for me, what's in it for you. Does that correspond a little bit with each other? Okay, let's go for it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But if the ultimate goal, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but if the ultimate goal is to know yourself, what does it then matter?
Well, not much. That's not about investment then.
What if everything that we do here is to learn? I think that living here would become quite a bit easier if you would approach everything like, I'm learning.
It's a lesson.
I'm learning. I'm learning myself. Like this is just, a new job, a new place to live,
new neighbors.
It's for me to learn.
Yeah.
And not learn to twist it so it is the way that I want it.
Yeah.
But to learn that it does not really have an effect on me, in truth.
Yeah. But
unless I give it that power.
But still, you like comfort also. If it would be 10 degrees below zero inside here, I think you would not enjoy sitting here.
But what do you try to tell me then? What are you trying to say with that? I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to make examples where it gets uncomfortable, it gets dready, it gets but then the question is for what is it? What is the purpose of it? Yeah. I have a little stupid idea right now, but let's say I just ate beans all day and I was farting all the time doing this interview.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that you at some point would just get up and say, "No, sorry, I'm not sitting here in this environment.
I don't have to suffer.
No, you don't have to suffer.
No.
It's I think it's in some spiritual circumstances, people tell you have to
be in any situation, whatever it is, you must just be there and don't let it affect you. So it's not about that.
No, it has nothing to do about not letting you affect you. That's not the lesson. The lesson is not, it does not have an effect on me. The lesson is I have a choice. Yeah. I can choose to look at this as either love or a request for love.
Yeah.
And how I respond is what I believe that I am. That's how I respond. And if I respond with love, I will have a situation where the request for love is answered with love.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel what you say. But I'm just thinking about, would you then in a situation where I would get a little awkward or start asking stupid questions, then
it would not change anything about my appreciation for you doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But I don't have to be physically or mentally or emotionally uncomfortable for that, because it's not about that the pain that I experience is not real. It is a wrong perspective. That's what Jesus says literally. Like, pain is a wrong perspective. I experience it as pain, and I think that I have to suffer through it.
Yeah.
And that's also what I wanted to say about the manual for teachers. Is like, change is often experienced with suffering. It doesn't have to be. But because of my investment, because I think I really did something to buy it, to make it, to build up a friendship, and now it's all gone.
Yeah.
And now it's all lost. And that's not true. That's not true, because when I give you something, it is given. And that was the lesson that I really saw where things were really changing for me. When I was hanging on that cliff, I was okay.
Yeah.
I was okay. I said everything that I wanted to say. I did everything that I needed to do. And if there was still something left, then I was also happy to do that.
Yeah.
So the neutrality is not about the situation. The neutrality is about where I am.
Yeah.
And the fulfilling of the greater plan. And the greater plan, like Jesus says to Helen,
Helen Schuckman,
the one that wrote down the Course in Miracles, he says, like, we came to an alarming situation where I was asked to take on my role, and you're asked to do what you need to do in this impossible situation. And everybody is called on, like everybody is called upon, but not everybody is responding to it now.
Yeah.
Everybody responds, but not necessarily now in time and space.
Yeah. How do you call it again? Many are called for.
Many are called. Some choose to listen.
Yeah.
Many are called. Everybody is called.
Yeah.
Only a few choose to listen now.
Yeah. So what is this about love? Maybe we could talk a little bit about that. We did that in the Dutch interview also. Kenneth always used to talk a lot about special relationships we have with our partners, but you once said in another interview, and that struck me, but as a child, I have a special relationship with the cookie jar, or that's God for me, because that's what I long for and want. Yeah. Can you reflect a little bit on that, on special relationships? What does that do with us? And that should also be a lesson then that we have to learn, not?
Yeah.
I think you are special, you are mine, and you fulfill me and I fulfill you. That's the love story we mostly try to play out here.
Until you see that you walk together until it's no longer beneficial anymore.
Yeah.
And then you let it go. And an honest man cannot be mistreated is one of the most difficult things to realize here in this world. If I'm honest that I'm here to learn myself, how can that beer-throwing guy be the evil? I came here because I thought I was separate from my source, and that's not true.
No.
So you could almost say, like, bring it on, bring the war, bring the cancer, bring the suffering and the horrible stuff. And that's also what we do. We every day, we are individually in that demonstration of fear and pain and suffering. And we are really at the tipping point. Everybody is in their individual separation ideas. Is that we get to this point that it becomes unsustainable. I cannot keep it any longer somewhere else. I am not the victim of this situation. I'm not the victim of you. I'm not the victim of
the
whatever.
world I see.
The world I see. And you talk about the cookie jar. It is an obsession because it fulfills very shortly some kind of need or some kind of lack, a perceived lack. But that's how chapter 15 starts with in A Course in Miracles, is what if you were always happy? What if you are given the choice, and that's where he says that you're like babies, like if you were given the choice to be always happy, to always be in peace, to always know who you are, or, pain, suffering, and death. He said, like, you choose because you don't know, because you have not had a real experience. And when you have a real experience of separation from the separation, like if you have a real experience of all that is, you never want to go back.
Mm.
And when you're back and you realize you're back, then you don't want to continue that.
Mm. Sounds great.
So when you see God, because God is only what you think God is, you cannot, just like the future, you cannot think about the future without the past, and you cannot think about God without judging where you stand yourself and how you see yourself. And the cookie jar is now God, because that holds something. That's a traditional idea of religion. It holds something that I don't have, but that I need to get.
Yeah.
And then I will be okay.
Yeah. It's going to fulfill me.
Well, the teaching is always, it is already in you. You don't believe it because you think this car accident is different than, when you have a disease or when whatever. But it's not true. The lesson is always the same. I am whole and complete. I'm not a body. I'm free.
Yeah.
It doesn't say, oh, you're not this body. You're like an alien, or you're like one with 5 legs and 2 heads. Yeah. No, you're not a body. You're not a container. You're not the vehicle.
Yeah. And you are free.
You are free. But what is freedom? See, and that's what people try to define. While when you are what you are, there's no question about freedom anymore.
No.
Who needs to do something if he's free?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I was a little distracted because of a little technical glimp, but let me look if it's still recording. One moment. Please take a sip of your water so I don't feel guilty. Yeah. We're still rolling, my friend. A little bit about this guilt projection. That's what I see happening all the time, and also with myself and in relationships, in the traffic jam, with neighbors, always looking for the one to blame, because then I can feel unguilty for 1 second and it feels great. Why is it?
You're okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
No.
No?
No.
I'm not okay?
You're not okay.
Oh, why?
I don't know.
You feel something?
But you have to forgive that.
Okay.
Literally.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that makes you hold on to guilt, you have to forgive.
But forgive in what kind of sense?
That you did it to yourself.
Yeah, I make myself guilty. Or I believe I'm guilty. Because they tell me it's because I believe I separated from God and God is now angry with me. That's why I carry
but you don't believe that.
But I carry this bag of guilt.
Yeah, but you don't believe that.
Well, I did it for a lot of years. I had a lot of guilt.
Yeah.
So I now I'm getting out of it, but still there's this mechanism in me, because where I still am pulled to. And also when my girlfriend gives her oldest son, like how do you call it in good English? Not a clap, but and also not
punishment.
Punishment, or says he's guilty. I go like, you see, there's the guilty one.
Yeah.
I'm not guilty.
Yeah.
And I go like, And I think, what's crazy to think like that? That now he's guilty and I'm not?
Yeah.
You know, that guilt thing that still fascinates me, how that comes about. And
because
goes
you don't
around.
believe that you're whole and complete.
That's why I feel guilty.
Again, guilt is looking at something that is not now, but happened in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Now you think that you had a choice and that you made the wrong choice.
Yeah.
That's what guilt is.
Mm.
Looking back and say, that's wrong.
Yeah.
You did it wrong. You had a choice to go to school or not to go to school. And you made the wrong choice.
Yeah, I didn't go. I'm to blame.
But it's not... Okay, let's go back.
Yeah. Back to the start.
You don't really believe that you're not guilty.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know for sure.
I know for sure.
Yeah. But is it really a belief? And should it be then transported to the belief that I'm not guilty? Or is guilt just a thinking fault?
What if everything happened and you had no control over it? Would you still feel guilty?
No, of course
exactly.
not. Yeah.
So it is never in the absolute. It's always in the partial. God is not partial. You think you're partial. If you didn't think you were partial, you would either be called like a psychopath or like a holy saint.
Yeah.
But that's the choices that we think we have in this world. But somewhere you think you can do something wrong.
Yeah. I have to make the good choices, the right choices.
Why?
Yeah. That's I've been taught. That's what I see around me.
Yeah, but you keep on repeating it, so you must believe it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would change that.
Yeah, but the belief also gets reinforced by me. So it's not about the police officer who tells me you drove to a red light. You are.
But now you're talking about cause and effect. You talk about cause and effect in time. What I'm talking about is that inherently, in the silence of your own closet, everything is closed. Somewhere, you're not completely okay with yourself.
Yeah, I can feel that. Yeah,
and that needs love. You need to start to love yourself in that sense.
Yeah,
and I know that because, like, I felt for years not good enough. I felt for years that I should not be here. Which also reflected in how I approach people.
How
I interact with people. My relationships. It was not that it was determined beforehand, this relationship should go this and this, but it was the way that I approached the relationship that it became the same again. And the only reason why it became the same again was because I did not really want to deal with the uncertainty within me, and the uncertainty was actually arrogance because I thought that I knew what was going on. And the more and more I realized that I have nothing to say about it and I have no clue what is going on, the more I let go of the guilt.
Yeah.
There's no guilt. I did what I could, but not in the sense like, oh, it's good or bad, but I know that I'm not that. I'm not that. I'm guilty to exist. I don't know where this is coming from, but why can you not just exist the way you are? And a total acceptance, that's always the problem. There's always exceptions. And that is what the problem is. Jesus says in the Course in Miracles, you love to do things by yourself or together with God, but never to trust God completely.
Yeah.
So when I was little and I got this bicycle and I got into this accident, well, somewhere that was my fault. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't choose to. Normally, a car from the right gets, how do you call it in English?
Right of way.
Yeah.
It gets a right of way.
You get a right of way. Yeah, I didn't do that. I say to myself, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in a certain kind of way, it just happened, really. Yeah.
Yeah. But why is that different than anything else? That it just happened, but it never happens for the reason you think, and somewhere you don't believe it.
Yeah. I still have my little doubts about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But can you live guilt-free in this world? Is that just not the punishment of thinking that you're living in a world, and here you have fear, here you have guilt. That's part of the game here. It's like playing Monopoly. You also have to go to jail, and you lose your houses, and you have to pay money and rent, and
that's what you agreed on.
Yeah.
When we came here, what we started with, like when we came to Earth, when we came into this body, into this existence in time and space, that was the agreement. That was the agreement that we would be here for a moment in this way. To realize that nothing has changed.
No.
Nothing has changed. Perpetrator. Like if you're the perpetrator or the victim, it does not make a difference, because one time in time you play one role and the other time you play the other role.
Yeah.
And in theory, you agree with that. But when you have the specific memories, you look at it differently. You did something to someone against their will, and that was a mistake.
Yeah.
But you learned from it. You don't learn from it by pushing it away, but to really forgive yourself. For whatever the reason you chose to follow, that person had something that you wanted. You were convinced that person was the only one at that time that could give it to you.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Can you forgive yourself for that? That's the real question. Like in that sense, forgiveness is the realization nobody did something to me. I'm not the victim of my feelings. I'm not the victim of this world. It doesn't mean that I deliberately chose everything because I could oversee all consequences. But it means that it was there for a reason.
Yeah.
Let it not be in vain. No thought is in vain, Jesus says. But like, don't let it just be gone and lost.
Yeah.
Learn from it.
I have one more little screenshot I made of a story that Jesus supposedly said, or whatever you want to call it. Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Matthew 6:35.
Yeah.
So was he calling people back into the now, into the present moment with that?
Well, I've translated that out of my own accord, like into do today. And that means that you're not asked to do more than what today is presenting itself to you.
Yeah.
Do one step at a time. That comes from the AA, from the Anonymous Alcoholic Anonymous. But it's the same idea that it's not only to live in the now, but it is also like you don't see what you have right now. You think it might lay in tomorrow, but you already have it now. You are already fulfilled. And that's the whole problem with that guilt, is that in the moment that you take something that is not yours, you don't feel really fulfilled. Just like lying is always out of fear. I had to think about that for myself for a while. Do I lie out of fear? No. I just don't want to tell him the truth. But why not?
Yeah. What's behind that?
Fear.
Yeah. So I'm sitting on the gold already that I'm looking for, dear Elbert.
Yeah, well, you are the gold. I'm sorry. I don't want to sound so.
No. But you just correct me when you
wise guy, because
make
that's
it
not
more
how
specific.
It is.
That's good.
But it is really like it's probably it serves somewhere somehow, and that's all fine. But the only moment that I'm released, the only moment that I feel that I'm in the salvation is now, and like I am already free. And it's not that it's really here and now.
Yeah.
It's really here and now. And it's not some like you are it. You are it. And that's also the problem that we have, because we think that other people are more important or have other things to do, or it's really in the observation mode. But it is all about me.
Yeah.
Only about me. About nothing else.
So am I fooling myself when I say I can see that wholeness in you, or in my girlfriend, or in the son of my girlfriend, but I have problems accepting that I'm the wholeness too?
Then you're actually lying.
Yeah, because I can only see it when I feel it, or I can't see them whole.
Those two are not separated.
No. So when I feel not holy, I cannot see. When I don't feel whole, I cannot see the other one as whole.
You can, but you don't include yourself in it.
No. Yeah. In a strange kind of way. But that's how it feels. I have more problems accepting myself as whole than seeing you as whole and unguilty.
But with that, like, it is very arrogant. Jesus says that. It's very arrogant to do that. Because you put something on a foot pedestal, and then you place yourself underneath there.
Yeah.
While the whole teaching of Jesus Christ in the Bible and in the Course in Miracles is we're equal.
Yeah, love your neighbor as thyself.
Yeah, but we are equal.
Yeah.
He says literally, follow me. And what he does in his mind, that's what you need to follow, not like Sea of Galilee or whatever in Israel, but like what he does in his mind is like, okay, I see you sinned because you tell me you sinned. So now I tell you, don't sin anymore. Don't be separated anymore. Don't be separated from your world anymore. So it's very easy to say, I'm not a victim of the world that I see. But you don't believe that. Because you still put someone else
above me.
Yeah, which makes you justified in staying in this place of a victim.
Yeah.
Or I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Because it takes balls, apparently, to be who you are.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good don't know the good English word, distinguishment.
Distinguishment, yeah.
Yeah, it almost sounded like very peaceful to see you as whole, and whatever I think about myself, well, we'll talk about that tomorrow.
So why is that not part of me? Why is that part that you see as, let's talk about it tomorrow, why is that not part of me, of my wholeness?
Yeah. I can't answer that.
No, but you make the determination. So you basically say, "Oh God, you're wrong. That guy, yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
but me, well, you made a little mistake.
I understand you. I'm still making separation real, and how do you call it in good English?
You give us separate levels,
yeah.
And the idea of that, that it is possible to look at something as whole. But it is really, you cannot see outside of yourself. So there are parts in yourself that you say that are whole, and other parts that are not whole.
Yeah.
And that reflects itself then in what you call then your girlfriend, that's then there, and that's all whole and perfect. But, there are other things and other people that are not whole and perfect.
Neighbors.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, why? Why do I do that? That's
because it brings you something.
Yeah.
It brings me something to keep that in place. And one of the things that it keeps in place and what it brings me is a feeling that I have control over my own dream and that I can determine and justify why this and why that. But in the end, the last thing I want to do is give up that ego completely.
Yeah, it gives me a sense of self when I separate things and say that's holy, that's not holy.
Because you don't want to go up into the
wholeness.
The whole, and I understand that.
Yeah,
right in the same place.
Yeah, you know the mechanism. Can I ask you a little bit more about Ken Wapnick? He once gave this example of a library full of DVDs, and he says, you have a choice in which DVD you choose. You choose the same old story of separation and guilt and fear, or you choose the DVD of wholeness and love.
Yeah.
Is it really that simple?
Yeah, because I decide how I want to look at it.
Yeah, he calls it déjà vu. He says it's constantly déjà vu what we're repeating here and looking at. Still watching the same old movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Until it doesn't bring me anymore what I want.
Yeah.
But that really gets to the point like what do I want? And when I said I'm not sure what I want, but this I don't want, then everything was changing.
No.
But that comes with everything. I cannot approach the world and my world and the idea of the people here. I cannot approach them in the same way that I always did.
Yeah.
Unless I want that.
Yeah.
Because it brings me something that I like.
Now I feel guilty that I didn't take this little cup of tea, which is standing there empty for, let's say, a half an hour earlier to this place, because the movie looks better right now, the video version.
But you think that there's a good and a bad about that?
Yeah, that's it. But that's instantly, I get this trigger that it says, oh, you've done wrong. You should have taken that cup of tea, that empty cup of tea, out of the shot.
And okay.
Yeah, that's okay. A little example about. Now you can put your hands right there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, let's go for another 10 minutes or so. Is that okay for you? Yeah, because let's think. I was thinking about something. Ken Wapnick, DVD, guilt, pain, pleasure, holiness. Let's talk about a little bit more about Jesus. Do you refer to Jesus as that person that lived 2,000 years ago, or is this the Christ consciousness that he was representing?
Yeah, I think both. I think both. You know, Helen Chuckman asked, like, was there really a body that disappeared? Was there really a body that resurrected? And then Jesus says, you know, the body disappeared because I didn't believe in it anymore. It just stopped existing. And that's true in my own life. When someone is no longer an enemy anymore, I don't try to avoid him anymore. So it just stops existing.
Yeah.
Stops existing.
Gets off the stage.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
And that's what Jesus constantly says about forgiveness. Is once it is forgiven, so once you forgive yourself, you will still remove the cup from the picture, but there's no guilt about it anymore. Because there's not good or bad in it.
Yeah.
It is perfect by itself and in the whole. So yeah, Jesus, I don't know, like I have pictures of Jesus everywhere in my home, like pictures in my car everywhere. Even now I have a picture of Jesus in my car. And
is it a reminder then, or what is it for you?
I don't know. I don't know, and I don't really call upon Jesus, which might be now what I should do or start doing. Maybe I should give it a try. Because in the Manual for Teachers, he gives answer to, is it needed to accept Jesus in your life?
Yeah.
And then he says, it is not necessary, but it would speed up things so much faster.
Yeah.
So it is not so much that I believe, like it's more like what you said. It's like an example and an elder brother that deserves my respect because of his greater knowledge.
And who shows the way.
And he will show the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the ultimate goal is not the glorification of a Jesus, but the Christ, indeed, like you say, there's many books have been written about that, the Christ consciousness within me. What is the... now I forgot what you said, but a minute ago you talked about not inner peace, but inner...
Christ consciousness.
Yeah, well, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. There are also some other books which are like this one, The Way of Mastery. I don't know if you know it.
Yeah, yeah.
The Way of the Heart, the Christ Mind Trilogy, Volume 1, Pathway of Enlightenment of Yeshua. Is that, is it the next level or something? Or should I... Because some of the fellow course students, they love to say, oh, this is it. This is the book.
Yeah.
And they, go in the book with a pencil. Oh, look at this. They sent me screenshots.
Well, the thing is, like you hear the message of that you're whole and complete, however you want to hear it. And ultimately, because of its purpose and for no other reason, you will reach the so-called end goal.
Yeah.
With anything.
Yeah.
Simply because of the purpose of something bigger than what we can.
Wow.
But I have not come across any book or pathway or method that was as quick as a miracle.
Yeah. And that's why it's called A Course in Miracles, right? Not the Course in Miracles. It's not the only course. There are many courses.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for you, this is the course.
Well, it is an acceleration that is going on, and you can catch on that or not. And I have a dear friend that does the Way of Mastery, and she told me about it, and then she, indeed, just like you said, like, oh, look at that. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I said, oh yeah, it's exactly the same as lesson 333. No. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I grabbed the book and I read lesson 333, and then she says, no, well, it phrases it a little different. I said, yeah, but the essence of it is exactly the same. And this, for me, takes those middle stations away. There's like these substations, like it goes immediately to the end. And that's what Jesus also says in the Course in Miracles, like every prophet that says that you need to come back next week, or like in another lifetime it will be all fine, is a false prophet, because salvation is here and now, and that is immediately connected to I can choose happiness now. I can choose every situation how it is for me now, because you are the captain of your own ship.
Yeah.
You're the determiner of your own ideas, and you can let them go as quickly as you want.
Yeah. It's a snowflake in the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah. You once told me in one of your lessons, and I thought it was great that you told me that a lot of people think Jesus Christ was his last name, but Jesus Christus, Jesus Christ. But it's that what he represents, right? It's not his last name. Or
no, like the Christ is really the realization, and Jesus answers that in the Course in Miracles too. Is like it is a realization of all in all. And of course, in time and space, we use this
a surname.
No. We use our perception.
Oh yeah.
To determine things. So then, with coming from that idea that, I look at things and then I determine what it is. He says the Christ is he says the heaven is not a place. Heaven is not some kind of trick you do in your mind. Heaven is the realization that God is everywhere, all the time, without exception.
Yeah. Also right here, right now.
And the Christ is that consciousness.
Yeah.
That realizes that.
Yeah.
So it's not so much if you do it right or wrong. It is more like you want to remember, and those remembering moments you expand, and the moments that you forget, you shorten. That's basically what we do here.
Yeah. We've been talking for 90 minutes now. I'm guessing we should need some...
it's time for...
for a little snack. How does it feel for you? This was like a thing in English. What does it say to you? Do you think it's going to perpetuate? Is it going to move forward? More talks in English? More daily lessons? Or you don't know? You're still with open arms. Whatever comes may come.
Yeah, it is clear that that my niche, my particular way of expressing myself reaches certain people, and other people are not my cup of tea, and that's perfectly fine. But I have something to do there, yeah, and it's not clear in what kind of format that needs to happen.
Okay, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
So, thanks again for visiting this little place here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. I talked to Elbert from a daily lesson, A Course in Miracles, in het Nederlands dus, in Dutch, and maybe in English somewhere, somehow. Oh, let's finish this recording.
Thank you so much.
Thank you too.